Second half underway in Riyadh as Saudi Arabia and the all-green get us underway. One change for Brazil. Fred out. It is Lucas Moura who checks in. Rest is as they were on both sides. Alongside Gary Bailey, I'm Andres Cordero. Thanks as always for joining us on this International FIFA Match Week.
Well, I'm surprised it's just the one change. I'm expecting to see a lot more in the second half. And just delighted that we all get to see Neymar and Coutinho and Gabriel Jesus up front, because they are just super talented and have created a bundle of opportunities in the first half. Just the one goal, one disallowed, and a couple of others that were blocked.
Meanwhile, for Lucas Moura, it is his first call-up under Chichi as the new boss took over, and getting an opportunity off the bench, now making his 35th international appearance for Brazil.
I think he deserves it. He's been very good for Spurs. And yeah, concern there, no doubt, for Pizzi as to who's going to pick him out now that he's on the pitch, Lucas Moura. But he's been very sharp for Spurs, very creative and very good going forward. So expect more opportunities for Brazil now that he's on the pitch.
Neymar scrambles back, but a lazy pass is won back by Saudi Arabia. Al-Mukawi. Otaif. Stepping forward, Alexandro to try and intercept. Here's Neymar. Salem skips past one challenge and brought down by Renato Augusto. Salem Al-Dosari is fouled.
Be careful when you turn your body and you put your foot out, because if that goes over his ankle, that's most a dangerous foul and one that'll get you a card.
So Lucas Moura is slotted into the midfield. He's stepped right into the spot that Fred had previously, but you do expect when Brazil have the ball for him to be the man to provide a bit of width on the right flank. Al-Faraj working against Fabinho. Cleaned up by Al-Dosari. So a good switch to Al-Buraik. Not able to corral that one by Hebri. Renato Augusto. Fabinho. Here's Alexandro. Interesting to note that Coutinho playing a slightly deeper role now, or on the left-hand side. And as mentioned, there is Lucas Moura providing the width on the right when Brazil are in possession. Slips it through for Fabinho. Taken away by Otaif.
Also seeing Fabinho a lot higher on the pitch than he was in that first half. You mentioned that both fullbacks staying deep. Well, he's pushed right up there into attack Fabinho, just on his way back now to take over his normal position.
Yeah, certainly Alexandro was the more advanced of the two fullbacks for Brazil, but Fabinho staying very conservative in terms of his positioning. And it's Lucas Moura who's won this back now into the area for Lucas Moura. Brought down on the challenge from behind by Al-Bulayi, and no foul.
Gets the ball, Al-Bulayi, but that was very, very close. He took down Lucas Moura, and if he doesn't get that tackle absolutely spot on, then it's a definite penalty. So I guess credit to the defender.
And maybe a bit of home cooking as well for Saudi Arabia. Al-Buraik. Al-Faraj. Otaif. Patient approach here from Saudi Arabia. Really gave a good account of themselves in the first half, considering the opposition. All flung into the box. It's chased down by Al-Buraik. Able to keep it in play, but taken back by Alexandro. Coutinho skips past one challenge. Neymar. Pressure by Al-Faraj, and the whistle goes against Salman Al-Faraj.
I think you're right about Saudi Arabia. They have impressed. It's against a super, super talented Brazil team at virtually full strength. And they've been good in terms of their defending. They've been sharp on the counter-attack. And they really have impressed. And I think Juan Antonio Pizzi can be happy with his team. He's done a good job leading them to the World Cup and getting third place there, and the improvements seem to continue. I guess their big focus is the Asian Cup, which takes place in January.
In the United Arab Emirates. In fact, we already know who the opponents will be for Saudi Arabia as they take on North Korea January 8th, followed by Lebanon on the 12th, and then Qatar on the 17th.
And Qatar with a good win. Was it 4-3?
4-3, they beat Ecuador.
So they might be getting stronger in preparation for hosting the World Cup.
Next up for Brazil, they'll take on Argentina on Tuesday to close out the Super Classico championship with a Super Classico, appropriately.
The old enemy. It could be a great game.
After that, taking on another familiar face in Uruguay, November 16th in London. Here's Lucas Moura working against Al Sharani. Still Lucas Moura. Squared for Neymar. The run of Coutinho continues. Lovely skill from Neymar. Moura off the bench and denied by Alois.
What a chance for Lucas Moura as well there. Great ball from Neymar through to him, but I'm thinking when he gets the ball, surely he can chip the keeper, get it past the keeper. Maybe we give Alois credit for the save. But Lucas Moura, if you want to play your way into this team, then when opportunities like this come, you've got to take them. Let's have a look at it again. Good first touch. Just tries to slot it in. Being
kept on side by Mohamed Al Buraik, the right back. And really, Lucas should have put that away.
He should have, a good save from the keeper. Yeah, he's got a finger up saying, I made the save, I stopped him. It's a decent save, but I just wonder, could he have chipped the keeper and made sure of scoring as opposed to trying to thread it past the keeper and giving the keeper a chance of making a good save? Either way, it's still just the one goal that Alois has conceded.
Lucas, who made the move to Spurs last January from the winter transfer window. Here's Fabinho. Lucas. Pablo leaves it for Casemiro. Coutinho. Mentioned this, the first meeting between these two since the lead up to Korea-Japan 2002. That occasion, a 1-0 win for Brazil here in Riyadh. And the goal, a brilliant free kick by Gelminia, whose talent really should have seen him make more appearances for Brazil. He was, well, had a reputation for being something of a difficult player on the training ground. And in fact, Luis Felipe Scolari opting not to include him in the final roster for Korea-Japan 2002. So, in his place...
Is this a pen? I think it is. Takes his feet first before he gets the ball.
We knew that when we saw it in real time, hence the home cooking comment. Well, when Gelminia wasn't included, guess who it was? It was a 20-year-old Kaká who had only earned 2 caps at that stage. And he was included in what turned out to be the 2002 World Champions.
I just wonder how many top-class Brazilian players have never made it because they had so many unbelievable players in front of them. And it must have happened loads of times.
They're still the greatest exporter of footballers to the world, Brazil.
Yeah. And even here we see it when you look at the bench, the players that aren't playing, be it the likes of Lucas Moura or Firmino on the bench at this stage. If he comes on, Gabriel Jesus then goes off. So even if you're a top-class player, you might not be a regular for Brazil. Wow, that's tough.
Neymar. Lucas has the overlap from Fabinho, squeezes it into the middle, and intercepted by Otaif. Al-Sharani running into a bit of trouble and pressured into putting it out to touch for Brazil. Neymar, blind pass to Fabinho, but a bit of brilliance in the PSG star. Here's Neymar, finding a pocket of space. Neymar on his left. Neymar fires. Neymar just kisses the post on the way.
Another brilliant run by Neymar. He's fantastic, running at that back foot time and time again. Gets the shot off, bends it around. It looks like it's going in. I'm not sure if the keeper got a touch, if it clips the post. Let's have a look at it from here. Nope, just clips the post on the way by. Keeper doesn't get there. He's just not happy about something.
Well, he wanted the corner kick. It is a goal kick for Alois.
But he has been impressive, Neymar. And I know people say, well, of course, it's Neymar. He is going to be impressive. But he has picked up the ball in that space between the back four and the midfield of Saudi Arabia. And he's run at the back four almost every single time. He's the one who created the goal for Gabriel Jesus. And he's had so many good runs, shots that have just whisked past the goal. And it's all come from this ability of his to run at goal and still keep his head up and have a good shot or a good pass. Great skills from Neymar.
By the way, Gabriel Jesus, his goal, now number 11 in 23 appearances for Brazil, but it's the second top scorer since Chichi took over. Everyone looking up at Neymar with 13. Gabriel Jesus gets his 11th under this manager, and his 11th of his international career. Here's Lucas Moura.
And he's still not a regular starter, Gabriel Jesus. It's Firmino who generally gets the nod.
Well, it's Firmino who's basically taken over potentially, but at the World Cup it was Gabriel Jesus, despite failing to score in Russia. This is dangerous now as Bahebri on the break. Blocked by Pablo. Still alive for Al-Bishi. Lovely disguised pass for Salim, squared in, intercepted by Marquinhos. And it's the PSG defender who puts out the fire.
Eventually puts it out. The ball comes in. He doesn't boot it clear. He sort of traps it, waits, and I'm thinking, get rid of it quickly. And eventually he does.
Here's Alexandro. Heavy touch from Coutinho. But he gets it back now, Neymar. Gabriel Jesus. Quick feet from the Manchester City forward. There's Renato Augusto making the run. Instead it's sprayed wide and tracking back Lucas Moura. Squirts under the foot of Casemiro, and now a chance to break for Al-Faraj. And they've got numbers, the Green Falcons. The switch is on, instead played for Al-Dosari. Options to the back post. Marquinhos closing down Al-Faraj. Fires bending away from goal. And a chance gone begging for Saudi Arabia.
Another one of those quick counter-attacks from Saudi Arabia. They're very pacey. They've got numbers in the box. At one stage, they had two green shirts in that far post, unmarked. And the ball comes across. Al-Faraj gets the shot, but a little bit earlier, quicker thinking, and they could have been through on goal, Saudi Arabia, but they are very quick on the counter-attack, and that's just exactly what Juan Antonio Pizzi wants from his strikers.
I believe it was Al-Mokawi who was unmarked on the opposite post, but never spotted by Al-Faraj or Salim Al-Dosari. Approaching the hour mark in Riyadh. Still a fragile lead for Brazil. 1-0 thanks to Gabriel Jesus.
We'd expect more goals just because they're creating opportunities, Brazil, and Casemiro just calming things down. But if you keep creating opportunities, eventually the goals will come. There's a little bit of excitement in the air that Saudi Arabia could catch them on the counter-attack.
Well, they've never beaten Brazil. They've never drawn with Brazil. All four previous meetings, all four Brazilian wins. And this one will be too if Saudi Arabia cannot find a response to that Gabriel Jesus goal. Marquinhos. Casemiro. It's a great ball to find Gabriel Jesus in the area. Lucas Moura. Jesus. Shades of Marcelo on that long pass from Casemiro, albeit on the right-hand side. Neymar backing up his marker. Neymar with the flick out wide. Alexandro squares it in and gathered up by Alois.
Neymar, lovely back heel. The awareness, spatial awareness of where the rest of the team are. The skills, the ability, the confidence. To say he's a special player, Neymar, is an understatement, but it's just such a privilege to watch him play.
Al-Faraj is just pulled down, at least claims to be, and there's the confirmation.
Come on, show us the Neymar flick, guys. We didn't get to see it.
Al-Mokawi. Al-Bishi back to Al-Mokawi, sliding in Renato Augusto, but Bahebri dispossessed by Marquinhos. Taken back by Al-Dosari. Al-Bishi. Targets to aim for in the area. He finds only the hands of Ederson. Oh, what a boot on Ederson to get that away to Gabriel Jesus.
What a ball from Ederson. Absolutely brilliant, over 80-odd yards. Stunning from the keeper.
Such a proactive goalkeeper. Sweeper keeper, if you like.
Yep. Saudi Arabia, last few minutes, I mean, they're keen on this. They're up for it. They're pushing. They're looking for the counter-attack. They're full of energy and running. Brazil got to be careful.
Good switch of direction from Salim Al-Dosari, but pass offline, looking for Hatem Bahebri. An hour played in Riyadh. A half hour to go on a 1-0 lead for Brazil. Marquinhos. Seen Renato Augusto be the deepest of the midfielders in this second half for Brazil, as Casemiro playing a little further forward. Neymar. And tracked by Al-Faraj. Brought down from behind by Al-Faraj. A bit of help from Abdullah Otaif. And a free kick maybe just outside of Neymar's range for Brazil.
Neymar, so clever, so quick when he turns. He turns and accelerates. And we said beforehand that we expected this friendly to not have too many bumps and bruises. So don't think he'll be happy with that, Neymar. Just gets clipped as he goes down. Coutinho with the pass. There's that back heel I was calling for. A lovely skill. A lovely awareness as well. Brilliant.
Not improvised. He had that planned from the moment the ball was rolling toward him.
Yeah.
Don't put it past him to try and goal for goal from this distance. Flicked into the area. And settled by Albishi. Trying to get around Gabriel Jesus. Al-Buraik. Albishi. It's a very sloppy pass, and Saudi Arabia get away with it.
They do, but they are a good footballing side. You mentioned it first half. They do like to play. And look at this space he's got out wide.
Oh, Shirani. Working here against Fabinho. Forced to hit the brakes. Has the space for the cross, but not the targets to aim for. Otaif. Al-Sharani. Al-Faraj. He's been as impressive as anyone for the Green Falcons. Cleaned up by Fabinho, but raffled into the middle. Otaif. Mokwani. Salim trying to get away from Casemiro. Did well under pressure. Otaif delivered into the area for Al-Buraik. Trying to get away from Alexandro. Let's see, Brazilian left back who wins out. Coutinho settles it into stride, finds Neymar. One is on there by Lucas Moura. It's Sharani who wins the position battle.
Nearly a fantastic ball, but here comes Saudi Arabia again. They're full of running. I think they've got a bit more confidence. They were probably thinking, well, we could be 3 or 4 down by half-time. They're only 1 down. And now they're beginning to look at it and think, hang on a second, guys, maybe we can get something out of this game.
Albishi. Bahebri. Space here for Al-Buraik to deliver a cross, and plenty of targets making a run to the back post. Off the head of Albishi. Maybe just took it away from Al-Faraj.
Albishi's header, it's so positive. They're getting in the box. There were 2 green shirts. Albishi's the one that gets there. Look at the crowd. They're getting excited by this as well. Brazil under pressure.
And momentum building for the Green Falcons, and they've taken the corner short. Al-Dosari. Al-Buraik. Bahebri. Been more of a facilitator today. Hatem Bahebri, the attacking midfielder, cast into this center forward role in the absence of Asiri. Al-Dosari fires, blocked by Casemiro. And headed away by Lucas. So substitution on the way. Brazil set to make their second, and this is on for his 3rd international appearance. Wallace, the Hanover midfielder. Getting ready to check in with the number 17. He'll take over from Casemiro. Wallace earning his first call-up under Tite.
That's going to be exciting to see how he does. New talent coming in and some fresh legs. Doesn't mean to say Casemiro hasn't played well, because they're probably resting his legs for the Argentina match, but you do need a couple of changes here, Brazil, just to freshen things up. They looked like they were going to build on that 1-0 lead and go 2 and 3. They haven't done. Saudi Arabia are really back in this game, so it needs a renewed commitment from Brazil to try and get this crucial second.
So Lucas Moura replaced Fred for the start of the second half. Wallace takes over from Casemiro 6 minutes past the hour. Here's Coutinho. Renato Augusto. Fabinho. Marquinhos. First touches for Wallace, the newcomer. Plays the easy pass to Coutinho. Fabinho. Lucas Moura. Maybe rushed his pass, Lucas, but it's a kind bounce for Brazil and for Fabinho. Now Gabriel Jesus.
There's just a wall of green in front of Brazil, isn't there? Virtually every player, in fact, every outfield player behind the ball, denying Brazil space, trying to pick off the passes and trying to counter with speed.
Very clear there that while it is 4 defenders on paper, and they do withdraw to the defensive shape, Albishi actually serves as a makeshift right back. Al-Buraik tucks inside. Here's Albishi doing defensive work. Coutinho settles it inside of the box. Moussaoui is just enough. Now Albishi. Still Albishi.
Oh.
Gets a fortunate bounce. Salem Al-Dosari. Yasser Al-Shirani now again working against Fabinho. Albishi. Al-Mukawi. Al-Buraik. Al-Taif runs into a brick wall in the shape of the newcomer Wallace. Al-Mukawi. Left it a bit short there for Al-Buraik. Al-Faraj. Renato Augusto not afraid to get stuck in, and he's won it back for Brazil. Now downhill football from the Brazilians. It's Neymar. And it was Neymar who gets upended by Abdullah Otaif. First yellow card of the match. It comes in the 68th minute for Al Hilal's Otaif.
Yeah, professional foul just to stop Neymar, who was running at their back line. They put so many players forward, Saudi. They were caught a little bit there by surprise. Short of numbers at the back. Nothing malicious about that, just slowing down Neymar's progress. But who'd have thought we'd be saying Brazil under pressure? Neymar's not happy. Who would have thought we'd be saying that Brazil are under pressure from Saudi Arabia, but they have been the last 5 minutes. Saudi's very impressive.
Well, they've taken more shots in the second half than they did in the first. 4.
That wasn't difficult. Did they have one in the first?
They had 3, just none on target. They still have none on target, but they've had more shots.
All right, okay.
Brazil still winning that battle, 10 shots to 7. 4 on target for the Brazilians, only 1 coming in the second half. Renato Augusto. Fabinho. Lucas Moura. Fabinho's excellent at Monaco at turning defense into attack, but from a defensive midfield role, and when in possession, keeping it very conservative in this right back role.
Which is maybe the instructions he's been given, not to go forward too often.
Now Lucas Moura slaloming his way through, tripped up by Al-Shirani, but no foul spotted by the referee, and a chance for Saudi Arabia to counter. Baebri. Al-Shirani. It's well read by Wallace, fresh legs from the substitute, and he's done well to win it back.
He's a big player, isn't he, Wallace? He's in midfield.
6'2" defensive midfielder.
Wow, that's a big unit. It's going to come in handy.
Now Lucas Moura working against Shirani. Squeezes it through for Gabriel Jesus in traffic, taken away by Otaif. And switched wide by Otaif.
Tidy play again from Saudi Arabia, coming down that right-hand side. We've got players with pace running at the back four of Brazil. They're causing them a few problems here this evening.
20 minutes left, still a 1-0 lead for Brazil. Bahebri took it away from Salem. Al-Shirani. Brazil just inviting Saudi Arabia to cross the ball into the box, and Saudi Arabia not interested. Ball did just cross the line as it got away from Al-Buraik. And it will be a throw for Brazil.
Well, I wonder if Chiche's got any other substitutions he's got up his sleeve. Again, I'm just wondering if Richarlison doesn't come on at some stage, or Firmino, just to get a little bit of a stretch in case they're needed next Tuesday.
And it's Saudi Arabia who will make their first change of the match. And is with the number 2. It's Said Al-Muwalid who will check in. Right back for Al Ali in Saudi football. And he'll step in like for like to replace Mohamed Al-Buraik.
Just checking to see if that was a penalty on Lucas Moura or not. If it would have been anything, it would have been a free kick outside the box, but not given.
So the first change for Saudi Arabia is a defensive substitution. And Said Al-Muwalid checks in. Double switch coming for Brazil. Looks as though Coutinho's day is done. Coming in to replace him with the number 15 is Artur. So one Barcelona midfielder in for another. Gabriel Jesus will also make way.
Richarlison.
And with the number 7, it is Richarlison who will likely be playing that center forward role despite playing as a left winger for his club team Everton.
Show you Gabriel Jesus' goal there in the first half. He's now off. The Brazil family and friends delighted with that. But this is a player I want to see, Richarlison, because he's big, he's strong, he can get on the end of crosses and set pieces. He's got great touches. And I made a comment a few weeks ago that he could be a future Ballon d'Or winner as centre forward for Brazil and possibly Barcelona.
Wow.
So I got some positive comments and some sort of ha-has. But yeah, if you are the striker for Brazil, you are going to be one of the best players in the world. And he's certainly he seems to have it all. Early days, but Richarlison seems to be the real deal.
A 21-year-old. Now playing in the Premier League for Everton. Scored a brace against El Salvador in September for Brazil. We'll hope to add to his tally now as Brazil looking for an insurance goal. Meanwhile, Artur, a player who has a really good opportunity to transform Barcelona. Shades of Xavi Hernandez. Not my words, those are the words of Lionel Messi.
Wow.
Player had an outstanding showing in the Champions League for Barca against Tottenham in Wembley a couple of weeks back.
He did. He was very impressive because he's aggressive, he's strong, he's good defensively, but he can also pass and look for opportunities. He's ideal in midfield, and I can see the sort of connection with comparison with Xavi, more so than Iniesta. Iniesta was more of a touch player. Xavi could get stuck in, and that's certainly what Artur can do.
Here's Marquinhos to Pablo. Artur. Brazil prodding for an opening in this, so far, solid Saudi defense. Neymar. Taif just stepping forward. Here's Bahebri. Salem. Bahebri is fouled from behind by the newcomer Artur. And a free kick for Saudi Arabia.
I'm surprised to see Neymar stay on what looks like, well, certainly 75 minutes, maybe the entire match. I thought he would have come off a little bit earlier, just keep him under wraps for the Argentina match as they take a water break.
Well, maybe if it was 2 or 3-0, Chichi might be more inclined to do that. But as mentioned, a fragile lead as they take the second water break. Again, the temperature over 90 degrees today in Riyadh. Anything over 86 Fahrenheit allows for cooling breaks. PT having a chat with the so far very impressive Salman Al-Faraj.
Here's just showing you that looked like a deflection, just goes wide. It's from Neymar anyway, shot off the post. And a couple of other highlights. Neymar all match long been running at that back line. This is the ball through for Gabriel Jesus for the goal. And the thing about this Brazilian team, it's a young team. Renato Augusto is the only one who's what you call old-ish at 30. Everybody else is 27, 26, 24. The whole back line is reasonably young, goalkeeper as well. I mean, this team, again, if you just take out Renato Augusto, could be together to the next World Cup and beyond. So Chichi being wise about the players he's choosing and looking at both the short term and the long term.
And at the moment, not counting on a player like Douglas Costa, who had to drop out of the squad. Gabriel Jesus celebrating his 11th international goal. He's got a good strike rate for Brazil, 11 goals in 23 games.
I think Manchester City fans will be saying, and why is he not doing it for City, but he can do it for Brazil?
Well, it helps to start a few more games. He's not been a regular starter for City this season. He's only has those 2 goals in 10 matches, all competitions.
To be fair, Kun Aguero for me is one of my favorite strikers in world football, and it's hard to oust him if he's in form. He just scores goals for fun, that little man, and he's so quick to turn. And so I think he seems to be the first choice at City, which doesn't mean to say Gabriel Jesus isn't good. It's just that he's got a fantastic striker ahead of him.
The announced attendance today, just over 23,000 at King Saud University Stadium. It'll be a bit more than that when Argentina and Brazil take on each other head-to-head on Tuesday, October 16th. It's not a down for Wallace. Here's Fabinho. Artur finds Renato Augusto. Well, he felt the approach of Salem Al-Dusari, who commits the foul.
Bit of a dead leg there, painful. Let's have a look at it from here. Knee.
And if he didn't feel the approach, he felt the impact.
Sometimes it can just catch you wrong. You know, you can be hit by somebody else's knee in the leg and you don't feel much, but if it just catches wrong, it can give you a real dead leg.
On the left side of your picture there is the 41-year-old recalled to the national team, Hussein Abdul Ghani.
Wow, 41.
And he's been out of the national team picture for the last 4 years. He did not make the squad for Russia 2018, but recalled to the national team now by PT.
But that was a surprise. If you've been out for 4 years, you don't expect a phone call to get back in at 41.
If you call Renato Augusto oldish, what do we call Abdul Ghani?
Well, needs must, I guess, as the lights, the cell phone lights come on in the stadium. If Pizzi feels that he needs that experience or that knowledge, bring him back. Maybe it's just a thank you. Come and play against Brazil as a thank you for your services.
Meanwhile, no regard for battery life in the stands. 12 minutes left to play. Saudi Arabia 0, Brazil 1. Brazil got the breakthrough, if you're joining us late, from Gabriel Jesus in the 43rd minute. Assisted by Neymar, who's having a phenomenal game, playing in this number 10 role, the more central position.
Still, if you're a member of the Green Falcons out there today, you're thinking, well, it's only 1-0, just over 10 minutes left. Guys, we keep working hard. Don't let them score and maybe catch a goal. We can get a famous draw here today.
Lost 1-0 to Uruguay at the World Cup. Beat Egypt 2-1 to close out their group stage campaign. I think even if the score stays this way, PT will have a lot to be happy about the performance from the Saudi Arabia side.
He will, but I'm just saying, 10 minutes to go.
Could get happier.
You're beginning to think, hang on a second, we've got a chance. Look at the space again for Saudi Arabia out on the right.
Al-Muwalid, Al-Mukawi, Otaif. Nice run being made by Ebri. Advantage given for Al-Sharani, trying from distance and nodded away by Marquinhos. And that was nice from Otaif. It was dummied through for Salem Al-Dusari. He was fouled, but the advantage rightly called by the referee. Meanwhile, substitution for the hosts. Stepping in with the number 8 shirt, that's Yahya El Shahari. He'll take over from Al-Bishi. 28-year-old right winger for Al Nasser in Saudi football.
He's done really well, Al-Bishi. He's threatened, he's quick. He's been running at that Brazil defense whenever he could. He's put in a really excellent shift here today.
Yahya Al-Shahari won't be the most imposing figure on the pitch. He's only 5'5", on for his 63rd international appearance. Ten minutes to play.
I guess for Chichi, this has given his team a bit more of a workout than he thought, which could be a good thing. Because now defensively, they're still having to keep their shape and be careful.
And gets away from Lucas Moura, tracked down by Al Boulaye. And eventually over to Al Wise for this goal kick.
You can see they're keen to get going, Saudi Arabia. They can smell blood in the water here. If you'd have said to them before this match, Dre, that with 10 minutes to go, you'd be only 1-0 down. Bad pass there, but you'd be 1-0 down, they'd have snapped your hand off.
It gets away from Al Mawalid. Well, the crowd believe, and the team respond with an equalizer. Fabinho, Lucas Moura, Renato Augusto does well to settle. Brought down by Al Sharani, and this will be a free kick for Brazil. A dangerous set-piece chance on the way.
Yeah, clever from Renato Augusto there. He just waited for the bump, went down, grabbed the ball just to make sure the referee had to stop the game. And once you grab the ball, the referee either gives a free kick against you for handball or gives you the free kick. Inevitably, they'll give you the free kick. So, experience of Renato Augusto coming through. And now, you've got big Richarlison in there. And you've also got Wallace at 6'2". Maybe they're a little bit stronger from the set piece now, Brazil.
Swung in by Neymar and sent back by Al Sharani.
Forgot to mention it has to be a good free kick as well.
Fundamental. Fabinho rolls it back for Ederson. Ederson only his second appearance for Brazil, if you can believe it. Alisson has just been that good and that steady in goal. His debut came against Chile in World Cup qualifying back in October of last year. It's a 3-0 win for Brazil. Ederson has not seen a match for the Verde Amarela since. It's not a down dangerously and a chance for Richarlison. It's just blocked at the edge of the box.
Very close, Richarlison. Good speed there, gets ahead, actually gets a shot, and Alois once again making a save for the Green Falcons.
Al-Faraj. Otaif. Amokawi. An equalizer still within reach for Saudi Arabia, but gonna have to get a lot closer. And what are they spotted here? It looks as though they're gonna take a look at video review, at least from the indication by the referee.
This is interesting.
So it was on that Richarlison action earlier.
Was the keeper outside the box when he handballs this? He is, yeah, handball outside the box.
It does come off of the midsection first. And we'll see if that has any bearing on the decision by the referee here.
So if he's deemed to be a handball and deliberate, it's denying a goal-scoring opportunity. Does that mean it's a red card?
Well, they would only be reviewing it if it was a penalty or a red card. So the only two things they could look at there, is it an immediate sending off or is it inside of the box? It's clearly outside of the area. And it's a red card. Yeah. Mohamed Al-Awai sent off for a handball outside of the area, denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity.
There's not much he can do. I mean, he's put his arms wide. It's not like it's a deliberate handball. Oh, it's so tough on the keeper. He's had a fantastic game, made a number of crucial saves.
Now, I mentioned it does strike the abdomen first, but when you come out with your arms like that, that is a deliberate action with your arms spread out, making yourself big, which is fine if you're inside of the area as a goalkeeper, not so much outside of the 18.
But you've got to drop it, so your arms are out inside the area, and as you cross the line, you've got to drop those hands. But yeah, look, he's 3-4 yards outside his box. He should have realized that he needs to keep his hands out the way. So in the end, there's no real argument. Doesn't seem fair. It's only a friendly, guys.
Well, 5 minutes left. Saudi Arabia will now be reduced to 10 men. And this could be an opportunity for the 21-year-old Mohamed Al-Rubai to make an impact.
And it's a free kick, of course. Gang comes back. Free kick on the edge of the box for Neymar and company. But that's where Richarlison's good. Richarlison was quick, strong, brave. And he's the one who causes this situation, which eventually ends up with the red card.
Well, it won't be the 21-year-old. It will be the veteran 32-year-old Mustafa Malayeka to make his international debut at age 32 against Brazil, down 1-0 with 5 minutes left to face a Neymar free kick from outside of the box.
Good luck on your international debut. You can always tell your kids that I faced a Neymar free kick on my one and perhaps only appearance. And of course, somebody has to be sacrificed off the pitch as well, because they're down to 10 men. So some poor Saudi player.
I believe Hatem Bahebri will be the man sacrificed. And indeed, it will be Bahebri.
That's tough. Through no fault of your own, you get yanked in the last few minutes when you're hoping to pop up and score an equalizer.
So Malayeka getting ready to make his international debut. Hatem Bahebri in no rush to get off.
A little bit of drama here towards the end.
Malayeka, who plays his club football as the rest of the Saudi team does in Saudi Arabia for Saudi club Al Faisali.
Well, the goalkeeper, Malayeka, excited to be facing a Neymar free kick, but if this is the only touch he gets in the 5 minutes and it goes in, then he'll be telling his kids, I came on, didn't touch the ball, and they scored. So let's hope for the keeper's sake it's not an embarrassing entrance onto the pitch.
My guess is he would leave that part out.
Yeah.
Straight red card for Al-Owais, which should keep him out of the game against Iraq.
Malayeka just lining up his wall. Always one extra man outside the wall, so you can't bend it around. A lot of bodies in front of the keeper. It's going to be hard to see this ball.
The crowd in front of goal. And Neymar from just outside the box. Neymar clips the top side of the wall. And Malayeka breathes a sigh of relief.
It does, because it was hard to see the ball through all the legs, both of his own players and Brazil. Makes it very difficult for the keeper. There's a big man, Wallace, there. If they can get the ball on his head. The ladies love Neymar. Look at the reactions.
And slow walk to the corner flag. Neymar ready to deliver. Outswinger near post.
Oh!
And it flashes wide of the target. It's met by, I believe, Wallace.
Wow, that was a good ball in with pace, and Wallace throwing himself at 6'2". He's going to be a real asset for Chiche at set pieces. That ball coming in with lots of pace. In fact, he really should have scored there, because in the end he gets ahead of his marker and he's got a free header on goal 6 yards out.
And I think he's anticipating the contact with Abdullah Otaif and just recoils at the last minute. So next up for Saudi Arabia, they'll take on Iraq on Monday, October 15th. And next up for Brazil, a clash with Super Classical rivals Argentina on Tuesday here on beIN Sports. Here's Neymar. It's poked away by Al-Boulaye. He's full of hunger and desire there, Neymar, isn't he? Trying to win the ball back. Final minute of the 90.
He's been very impressive today, Neymar. Running at the defenses, always looking.
Here he comes again, Neymar.
Yeah. Well, gets pushed and pulled a little bit.
It's one way to stop him. Al-Faraj handcuffs him.
I'd like to suggest that on Tuesday it's going to be a lot less friendly from the Argentinian defenders.
Well, what a moment this is. The 41-year-old Hussein Abdul Ghani getting ready to check in for the first time in 4 years. His 135th international appearance for Saudi Arabia. Wow. And he's been made to wait for it.
Old enough to be the father of probably half the team that he's playing with.
Salim El Dosari, the man who is replaced. Abdul Ghani, a left back, but can also play in that left wing position. We'll see if Al Sharani steps forward or if Abdul Ghani gets a more advanced position.
Well, it's a lovely moment. Only a couple of minutes left, but at 41 to come on the pitch. He'll certainly add this one to his scrapbook.
Well, 6 minutes added on, so he'll get a bit of time to enjoy his return, and he'll do it wearing the captain's armband. And just listen to that ovation.
So I just wonder if this isn't sort of a little thank you to him for services over the years, especially as he comes on as captain.
He's been very good this year in the Saudi League, playing for Ohod. Chance from distance and doesn't get it to bend enough. It's his performances in 2018 that convinced Juan Antonio Pizzi to recall the 41-year-old Abdul Ghani.
Okay, so you're saying it's not a thank you for old time's sake. He's actually earned it.
It could be both. Maybe not done with the substitutions yet.
He's got 5 minutes left to come on.
That's the 21-year-old Abdul Rahman Garib. He's getting ready to come on to replace Hussein Al-Mokhawi.
I guess down to 10 men, they need some fresh legs. Some of these players have really put in a shift today here, Saudi Arabia. Made it very difficult for Brazil.
So just the 20-year difference between the last two substitutes for Saudi Arabia.
This is what Brazil always face every time they play, especially against lower opposition. The lower opposition are going to run their hearts out. They're going to chase down everything. They're going to give 120%. And sometimes you can say, well, Brazil should do more, but of course they're pacing themselves a little bit. They've got an eye on Argentina next Tuesday.
Al-Sharani puts it back in play. Still just a 1-goal lead for Brazil. 4 minutes left of time added on. Al-Mawalid. Al-Sawi. It is a left midfield position for the veteran Abdul Ghani. As Al-Sharani stays in that left back spot. Al-Faraj sends it back, but Saudi Arabia playing like they have a 1-0 lead as opposed to a deficit.
I was about to say the same thing, guys. You've got 3 minutes left. Why don't you just try and attack Brazil? You might just get an equalizer. And then this crowd would go wild. Instead, they're playing it at the back and as if they're quite happy to hold on to the 1-0 loss. Perhaps they are. Still a decent result, only lose to Brazil 1-0, but if there's a chance of victory, wouldn't you go for it?
Fabinho flicks it across for Pablo. Alexandro. Big day for Pablo today, making his international debut. Chance to impress Chichi.
He's done all right, hasn't he, Pablo? We haven't heard too much from him. Had a couple of good blocks in the first half.
Some decent interventions to keep Saudi Arabia out.
Yeah.
Here's Lucas Moura. Artur. Wallace. When in doubt, find Neymar. Put Lucas into a bit of a bad position there. Abdul Ghani going to ground Fabinho, and he's dispossessed him. Squared back in toward Neymar, looking for Neymar. Instead, it's the newcomer, Karim.
Very comfortable again, under all sorts of pressure, Saudi Arabia. Some of the players have some lovely little touches.
Taif. So I'm having a hard time telling you who I'm more impressed with on the Saudi Arabia side. Abdullah Taif or Salman Al-Faraj, the number 14 and the number 7, I think have been brilliant.
They both have, absolutely. There's been a couple of others who've at least put in a decent shift. And Al-Bishi, who's already been substituted, and so Al-Dosari as well. I mean, they can hold their heads up high, Saudi Arabia, no question about that. Yes, the keeper, before he was sent off, Alawais, had to make a couple of good saves to keep the score down. But they've had some good little moments, some lovely little skills, good, quick, pacey counter-attacks. And they've never looked totally out of their depth against Brazil.
Lucas leans back on Fabinho. Here's Neymar. Lovely flick by Neymar to pick out Richarlison. Bit of space for Lucas now to deliver a cross. Squared in. And Taif deals with the danger. Sharani trying to get over Lucas, and they've given away a corner kick as it's last touched by Al-Faraj.
Risky defending there, trying to chip the ball over Lucas Moura instead of just banging it clear. Here we go, Neymar just applauding everyone. Nice response from the crowd, they love it. And he really has been a top-class player here this evening. Positive, attacking, creative. Taken a few little bumps. No, it hasn't been tackled badly, but just getting up and getting on with the game as opposed to the antics during the World Cups. It's a nice new Neymar that we're watching.
Outswinger from Neymar. And how's that, a second assist for Brazil's number 10 as the Verde Amarela double the lead. Saudi Arabia 0, Brazil 2. Nope, it's Alexandro,
Alexandro
who nods it in.
Alexandro. There you go.
First international goal for the Juve fullback.
Good for him there. And perhaps for Brazilian fans, it just makes it look a little bit more acceptable, 2-0. And from a set piece, that'll please the coach, Chichi.
As far as Neymar is concerned, he's the man they came to see, and they got their money's worth today.
They did. It's a good corner in because it's got pace. And like the previous corner, which should have been a goal by Wallace, when it comes in with that pace, you don't have much time to pick up the runners. If they get free of you, then they can score goals. So to score from a set piece always delights any manager.
After Gabriel Jesus scored his 11th for Brazil back in the 43rd minute. Saudi Arabia 0, Brazil 2. But the home side could hang their heads up.
They certainly can. Well done, Saudi Arabia. Well done, Brazil. Well done, Neymar. And everybody else. It's been a real enjoyable afternoon's football. Don't forget Tuesdays when it all happens against Argentina.
For Gary Bailey, I'm Andres Cordero. Thanks for watching the Super Classico Championship on beIN Sports.